Hi guys, welcome back to CountyLine Farming. Today we will have a wide variety of tasks to accomplish here on the farm. It is December 9th, nice rain overnight. It's about 50 degrees though, so a good chance to get some things done while the ground's thawed out. In there gets that temperature, it'll freeze up. Just got done pressure washings. Got all the manure hauled out last week, so we're caught up on that detail, doing odd job projects here around the farm. Haven't got a chance to film much here lately, but getting caught up on things and trying to stay ahead. Well, the weather's nice, looks like it's gonna get cold again next week. Got my spreader washed up last night, so I'll take you along here tonight. So we got the New Holland L220, go push up feed. It's about 2 p.m. now. Start the key or the little button until your glow plug goes off. This skid loader is up to 3,700 hours already. It's about 2 hours every day put on by me. Hit our little 2-speed button and away we go. So I try to push up the feed at least once a day, if not twice. If I'm out here late at night, I always do it before I go in, but sometimes if I get done early, I don't end up doing it since I just got done feeding. But do it right now before I get started on pressure washing here again tonight. Can't really see much from my view. I just got a makeshift blade rigged up on this bucket. Actually works pretty good. Feed's pushed up, that only takes about 3 minutes there every time you do it. Not a big deal. It's handy to use a skid loader instead of a broom. It's quicker, less work. Here's the new addition. I haven't showed you the new curtains or much of the building either. Added on to pen 3 here. Still got a couple water problems, but it's a lot better than it was. So these guys get bedded. This hasn't been bedded for 2 days, but the inside, I'm still bedding the inside about every day just because there's probably 80 or 90 head in this pen. Well, that seems to be typical for the old pen 3. If you know, you know. If you don't know, then that's all right too. But we're gonna grab the John Deere 260 here to start moving feed. Just started moving feed here the other day. Got some triticale that's a little bit farther away and spilling a little bit more than probably could have been. So we're just gonna move the feed. Makes it simple to feed also. So we're feeding first cutting hay, triticale, and corn silage. We just got done finishing up corn silage and hay from 2023, probably 2 weeks ago. So we're just now starting feed from this year in December. We were running triticale for most of the fall there, but the bag's over there. We're gonna bring it down right here. This is the mixing station, I guess you call it. There's the dog, not doing anything as always. So 260 John Deere. Start this thing up and start moving feed. Hit your red button, start it. So in Cincy, we got some rain last night. We're not completely drenched. We're still relatively dry right now, but just since we got rain, the top couple inches is smeary. And skid loader has really bad tires on it since they're almost bald and they've been on there for 2,000 hours. But anyways, we don't have much triticale left here in that bag, so another week at the rate we're going, probably maybe even less, we'll be caught up there. But if we can't get this very good today, we can use my loader. It's got a little bit more tread on the tires there. We can just use the other skid loader up here. It's not going to matter. It's really nice to use the backhoe. We don't quite have enough room to do that safely though, I don't think. So it's not worth bringing that over here since it is already put away. Another thing I haven't talked about, it's not a big thing, but we did lay these wooden pallets down here underneath these bags. A bunch of pieces of wood. They're all glued together. There's just a couple bolts here and there that they use to fix them. But was a worry that we might have a flat tire once in a while. Here's kind of a good, like right now we're feeding hay silage out of here, and it's relatively level and nice. There's no mud. We actually got these for free. They were kind of a pain to get in here, and we ended up burning a lot of them because they were junk, just sorting through them. But it's a lot nicer than playing in the mud. So I think short term it'll work pretty good. So we're walking down to get the John Deere 4030 right now, and we'll take up there, load up the mixer. Since it's relatively dry, it only ends up being about 5,000 pounds, even though it looks like a lot more than that, just because of the weight and volume of the crop. Hey, you doing anything productive today, or you just, I don't know? Okay. So here's the pressure washer setup. As you can see, it's still moist from yesterday. Didn't wind it up since I knew we were gonna use it here. But probably want to move it though if I'm gonna back her out of the shed. Looks like it's headed right towards it. So we'll move this here unit out of the way. Just a Honda, and I got it rigged up. But anyways, so I got this cleaned up for the most part here yesterday. Had some crap in the inside that fell down when I washed this brim. All nice and clean. I'm gonna clean out the inside, run some sawdust through it, and then we'll do the inside. I guess I'm not gonna show you because then I'll get it dirty if I stand on that, so we better not. So the reason I'm gonna run sawdust through this manure spreader, once it gets below freezing temperature, which is 0 degrees Celsius or 32 degrees Fahrenheit, once this manure in there gets that temperature, it'll freeze up, and there's a lot higher chance of the spreader not starting when the manure's all frozen together, and it's a lot harder. It's a lot harder on it even if it does start. It's hard on everything when you got frozen chunks of manure. So that sawdust cleans it out real nice when you run a bucket of sawdust through there. And then we'll go ahead and pressure wash around that door. I already got this unit greased up, just need to do the PTO then when I get done. So go ahead and do that. Now there's a little bit of a surprise for you guys, don't even know about it, but there is a new to us John Deere tractor on the front of this manure spreader. It is now the biggest tractor we have. Since it's turned up, it's technically the biggest horsepower wise. Weight wise it's not, but it's a John Deere 4840, 50 hours on the engine that we put in that was used. So just clicked over to 50 hours we've put on it since we owned it here. As you can see, she's already rusting away there at the door. And it's not even a year old, which is kind of sad. But got the mud flaps rigged up. They need a little modification, need to be a little lower to the ground, so we'll have to mess with that once the unit gets clean. But I'll show you this tractor once we get out in the daylight. So here's what we're looking at. It's nothing special, but it's perfect for the job we need it for. Tires are about 30% on it, as you can see. Inners are real bad, but still got enough life for a couple years, hopefully. Some big cracks, but anyways, Got these mud flaps rigged up. The thinking is, as you can see, there's mud there, and there wasn't near as much there. Just need to be a little bit lower, and they'll work perfect. So, got the wide flashers, LEDs on the back. Have a couple electrical issues. Still have to figure out the light bar there up top. PTO is slightly bent, but it's hard to tell when the PTO's on. It just jiggles just the slightest bit. Put a brand new drawbar on to prevent any drawbar breakage, as seems to be known around here with manure spreaders. Pretty common problem with the here John Deeres. Got the old man stairs, as we call them, so that was nice. LEDs up front. Doesn't have any light bar up front, just has these knockoff, I call them candle lights basically, because they don't help much. Took the weights off, 5020 1972 model, one of 4 of them. Put the weights on here since it didn't come with any. Gonna throw some fenders on the front because I'm not gonna clean this tractor every week, because the mud gets thrown on the windshield and then you gotta clean it, which is kind of stupid. Anyways, got the same engine as our John Deere combine does, so that's why it has a little bit more horsepower than stock, and it's probably also turned up just a tickle bit. But yeah, so we now have 4440 and a 4840 in the 40 series lineup. So it has a bigger sister, bigger brother, whatever you want to call it. So that's the basics there. Need to get me a bolt in there. I still haven't done that. Got a hitch saver, save on some wear and tear. Had to put the 3-point on, just put that on for the mud flaps. Have a hydraulic pressure issue. Gonna have to get the tractor's gonna have to be split again. Any time that doesn't have enough pressure, you don't have brakes or any of that, 3-point goes down, so you got to watch that. It's a little bit picky, but the John Deere 4630 is getting a new transmission currently, so we can only have one tractor at a time getting work on, since we do have a lot of tractors. It is kind of misting here this afternoon. It's kind of got, but I'm already gonna get wet pressure washing, so I can care less. My manure's hauled, the crops are off. I really can't complain if it rains. It's not gonna bother me. Interior is nothing special. Could use a cab kit down the road maybe, if we feel like dumping a little more money in it. But steering wheel, you know, it's not the best or anything. It does have the turn knob, which I always like. It's kind of weird, sometimes you don't grab it and just like where it is. Only downside I don't like is you only have 8 gears with these, so 8-speed power shift like 4430. It's not near as jerky as some people say they are. I think it just depends on the tractor. This one you get used to. I do miss having my gears. I don't miss pushing the clutch in every couple minutes to shift gear, especially when you're hauling manure. Just the stock seat, so you are still sore by the end of the day, but that's about any tractor this old. Even if you have a nice seat, you're still sore, so that's just the nature of the beast. The radio works. She's a little bit staticky. It's straight from the 1980s, so 1970s, whatever it is. It's still got the original sticker up there, so it works though. I just didn't have the patience to figure it out, and I don't like listening to static radio, so I just sit here and ponder my thoughts while I drive around up and down the roads and through the fields. But anyways, here's your light switch for the front. Turn that on. That's a horn, doesn't work, but everything else is about the same. It does have 3 remotes. We only need 2 on anything. Hopefully in the future we got something for 3 though. But yeah, some of you may be familiar with these tractors. It's pretty similar to all of our other cab tractors, but it's exciting having another cab tractor. So this is its main job is run this manure spreader. Since all of our other tractors are just a tickle under horsepower for it, 4630 and 4440, it will run it. 4430 will run it, but you can never load it full, and there's no chance of you going up half the hills that we farm on, so you got to make sure you're in a flat field if you had to use it. But I haven't had any horsepower problems with this whatsoever. It drags it anywhere. There's only 1 or 2 hills that it'll start to start to die down, which that's any tractor. But yeah, it's working good so far, other than the parking brake's the biggest problem right now. I've had it just about go through a barn wall. So you got to really watch that if you don't have a block behind the tire, which that's another story. But anyways, hopefully that gets fixed before we have further issues. It's got a mirror over here. I did adjust it so I can actually use it now. Yeah, it's kind of funky. So got a good mirror there. I can see behind, see some idiots passing me for some reason. Which people still tend to do since we live in the great world we do. Here's what we're looking like. As you can see, some of this stuff on, I always watch just a little bit of this ledge. I never watched the whole thing, but it does seem to stay cleaner than the old spreader. I'm not sure why, if it's just because there's more paint on the sides or what. But so we'll throw some sawdust in there and get her cleaned out good. You can now see the floor, see how everything's shiny now? So nothing's gonna freeze up now. Last little bit's just going out. Sawdust won't freeze since there's not moisture in it. And even if it gets completely soaked, I've never seen it freeze unless there's manure added to it. So we've yet to have any problems with the spreader, which there shouldn't be since I've only ran it for probably 8 or 9 months here. Just got done pressure washing, it's just starting to get dark. Tractor and spreader is cleaned up. Tractor wasn't very dirty, didn't take very long at all. And then also did the brush hog over here, which didn't take too long either. Just had some junk that didn't get cleaned off, all that good stuff. As you can see, it's extremely rusty, but this probably could have been done 3 months ago, but I wasn't sure when I was going to be done cleaning. So anyways, Dad just started feeding, so I'm done washing for the day. I'll probably be done pressure washing for at least a week. I got a few tractors I'd like to clean up this winter and hopefully do a little work to make them look a little nicer if I get some time. Somebody's really cruising down the road. Anyways, so Dad just started feeding and I need to get started bedding cattle here. It's easier to bed cattle in the dark than it is to pressure wash, so let's get at it. So I'm coming over here to the John Deere 4320. It's hooked up to the bale grinder that we use to blow straw in these pens. Hook my battery connector back up. It's a poor man's battery disconnect, I call it. We'll get up here and start her up. It's gonna take a little bit of ether since it wasn't plugged in and it's a little on the chilly side. So we will do just that. Functions table here, clean that off a little bit. We'll turn her on and then put this bungee cord to hold my hydraulic forward, and then we can run our functions, put that up and down, side to side, and then right now we're putting the tailgate in the back down. Hello. got this first 2 bales in here loaded. Go ahead and cut the strings. These are 7 by 3 by 3 big square bales here, so they're 7 foot long and then 3 foot tall and 3 foot wide, so they have 4 strings on each bale to hold them together. So there's 8 strings all together, unless a bale's missing one. So as long as you can count 8, you can do this job pretty well. Sometimes I still miss one. Anyways, it's not the end of the world. You just run it through the bale grinder and get to pull it out of the big rotor in there. So that's been done a time or 2. But anyways, we'll start blowing this in the pen while the cattle are eating. You don't have to move the cattle when you do it this way. It's faster, simpler, and less, what's the word? Less labor too. It beats a pitchfork or a skid loader. So yeah. So today is December 12th. Didn't film anything yesterday since this lovely camera here was dead and didn't want to cooperate due to the cold weather, I suppose. I don't know. But anyways, it's charged up now. And got started servicing this skid loader. One of the things you have to do is take all the wheels off, so I did that. I had it washed probably 2 weeks ago. It's been in here for a while. So I got it washed and finally got a chance to get servicing it. Got one of the 2 fuel filters changed. Got one more to do once I get the wheels back on. Got to get a rim changed. That's kind of crappy, so we'll have to wait until that gets done. But I got the hubs all greased, and I'm going to change the hydraulic filter here tonight. Got the air filters changed last night. A couple other things that it needed done. Got it completely greased also. So anyways, we're working on this here in the shop where I am. Check the oils there on the bottom. So got all that stuff done last night. Got the space heater on. Came in here about 20 minutes ago. and it was at 30 degrees. So I got it set for 45. Hopefully it'll be up to that in another hour or two by the time I come back in here. And then the guy that helps me, the local skid loader mechanic for New Holland, he's gonna be here about 6 o'clock, which is in about 2 hours. So we'll get the space heater running. He's got an electrical problem to fix with my skid loader, sensitive switch on that. And then we also got a boom safety lock that's seized up, so we're gonna see if we can figure that out. But anyways, I need to get scraping and bedding cattle, since we're gonna be needing that skid loader in here in about 2 hours, so I need to get that done. So we'll be back to this momentarily. Got all the plastic cleaned up around the bags. There's that feed we moved there the other day. So all the plastic's over there in the back of the dump truck. And there's a bag there and another one way up there, which you can't really see, but got that done there also yesterday in the dark. But anyways, guys, I appreciate you all for watching today's video. Be sure to check out the Instagram at CountyLine Farming, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.